Yo, 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 yo. Happy hump day, everybody. If you can hear me, I'm waiting on Vic Ferrari to join. Whoops, never mind. There he is. Hello, sir. Vic,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Can you
Hey,
hear
hey, hey. Hey, Kikilani, Lotus Flower, Flaky Jake Liz, Penguin and Pals, Duchess, Laura Raider, everyone in the chat, thank you for joining. Apologize for being late. I'm going to change the screen here momentarily, make sure everything looks good. And you should see us coming up on the screen. Let me change this. Obviously, it's not working the way I wanted to. There we go. Hello, everyone. Vic, how are you? You're on mute. Or did I mute you? Did I mute you, Vic? Vic, you got
No,
that too.
I'm
Oh,
yeah, I'm muted. I'm muted.
okay, cool. Hello, everyone. Sorry for the delay. I have to still go grab me a drink. As Liz will attest in the chat, I have a very big problem when I try to move stuff out of my office to my garage to hang out. I kind of move and forget things. So I'm going to go and grab my drink real quick and I'll be right back. Vic, floor is yours.
I'm having some technical issues myself.
I can hear you fine.
You hear me okay? Okay. I don't know if the chat can hear me or not. Anybody able to hear me out there? Ah, Lizzie can hear me. Good. Okay. I always get a little bit mixed up because I'm used to I'm used to doing this on StreamYard, and so we do it through um, Discord. I get a little mixed up, but it's not that hard to confuse me. Anyway, hope everybody is doing good out there. Thank you for joining us over here on Drinks and Discussions. Why Dutchie just doesn't want to hear me. That's different than actually being able to. That's a different situation. So, and hopefully, if you guys are on the Discord, you'll come up and join us for what hopefully will be an interesting discussion.
I'm back, everyone. And you know, it's funny you say that too, Vic, because um, while we get started, I kind of have. I told you about it already, but I want to share a little of a personal story about what happened to me today, if I may, with all of you. My microphone sounds kind of good because I'm sitting here kind of holding it, I guess. Um,
I can barely hear you. I'm not sure about the panel or about the chat.
I think that's what people say all the time when I'm that you can't hear me on panel, but everybody else can hear me. It's kind of a weird thing. I get it.
Yeah, I can
But
barely hear you,
let me turn it up. Let me turn my volume up.
but I'm not sure what I can do about that.
Let me make sure my levels are up nicely. And if you are, like Vic said, if you are in Discord, let me know in the chat, and you want to participate. Please let us know.
What if I turn this on?
My microphone is all the way up, Vic, and my sound now is all the way up, and I can hear you
Oh,
perfectly.
now I hear me. I don't want to hear me.
Can you hear me? Lotus Flower says she can hear me, and I sound fine.
It's weird. It's really, really low on my end. Let me check my.
Yeah,
Vic. I think it's me for some reason.
Liz
Hold on, let me
says.
check my headset. Hang on.
Well, Liz also said in Discord, right click my name, and there should be a volume for me in Discord.
Yeah, everything's all the way up on my end. click on Brian and turn his volume up. Okay. Let's see. That's all the way up.
Am I any
I
better?
don't know. Say. Yeah, it must just be on my end. Let me try to go out and I'll come back. See if that does anything.
Okay. As I try to work on my video, everybody is watching. Sorry about all that. Weird. Okay. Let me pop that out of there. There we go. Move that over here. Move this over here. This. And change this over to this. This. Okay. Now. Now why is my camera fuzzy?
What I was gonna say, you're also blurry on my end.
No, I got blurry on my end too. That's all me.
I don't know why I can barely hear you. Hopefully someone else will come up and I'll see if I can
Yeah, if you
hear
guys
them any
are
better.
if you guys are on Discord, come up and let's have somebody else join, and so we can see how you guys sound, how we all sound. While I also look at this over here. Bam. Video. Lizzie is here. Thank you, Lizzie.
I'm just here to do a sound check. Check.
Microphone check. Vic, could you hear that?
Go ahead.
Check. Can you hear me, Vic?
I can hear you.
Lizzie.
Am I louder than Brian?
I think I can hear Brian better now. Say something again, Brian.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, Brian's loud and clear now.
Yay! Audio issue fixed. Okay, I gotta go finish dinner.
All right,
Okay,
thanks, Lizzie.
thank you.
And hello, Liz.
What about Liz?
Hey guys.
How
Loud
are you?
and clear. I don't know what the hell's going on. But that's nothing new.
Well, okay. Well, let's get into it. I think we got everything going that we need to go on, and and I don't think it's going to go any better than what we're about to talk about. But I wanted to share with everybody, and I'm going to turn my camera on for a little bit. I'm in my garage. It is not the why does it keep throwing blurry like that?
Yeah, you're better now.
Okay, there we go. In my garage, having a drink. Cheers to you all, and let's get after it. So my son, and most of you know I have a son, he's 5 years old, had a kindergarten episode today that was kind of cute to me. I kind of enjoy seeing little people learn how to navigate their emotions, navigate through things that they are experiencing. And one of the things that he was navigating or going through today is that he didn't want to go to kindergarten today. And it was a big ordeal. Had caused me to be late getting started for my day. Went to McDonald's because he didn't want to go to school, so I took him to McDonald's, brought him back home. After maybe 15 minutes of that, we ended up being able to get him to finally go to kindergarten. But I thought the experience of just kind of having that with my 5-year-old in kindergarten was kind of unique. I didn't think that happened until teenage years. You wake up, don't want to go to school. But having that happen with the kindergarten was kind of cute to me. And he enjoyed the rest of the day. And I'm drinking Knob Creek, by the way. Knob Creek is what I'm drinking. Knob Creek bourbon. It's awesome. Talk to me, Vic, Liz. What did you guys think about my little kindergarten story? Hey, and my couch, and this is my couch that goes in my garage. It's actually not peeling. it's real leather actually. It's not peeling. Proby got me freaking cracking up over here. Oh man.
I missed why he didn't want to go. What was it again?
He just didn't. He woke up this morning and said he didn't want to go. It was just one of those things. He was like, Dad, well, here's what my wife and I thought. So in the morning before school, um, we get him ready, and then I sit on the couch with him, and we are watching a video on his iPad or something. And today, I think it was one of those days where he was just enjoying the cuddle time before school, and he just didn't want to let that go, and decided that he wanted to stay home with Dad.
I get it. Yeah. Okay.
So that
Well,
was that.
at least he wanted to stay home with you. When he's in high school, you won't be able to get him out of bed for nothing, and it won't be because he wants to stay home with you.
Yeah, right.
It'll just be because he's like, oh, I hate school. I don't want to go.
Right. Well,
Right?
thank you, Laura Raider and Lotus Flower. The story was cute. Thank you, Lotus Flower. And Laura, I kind of figured that it was also like Liz is saying, it's normal and it probably happens all the time when you get older, like amateur aquatics is saying. I just wasn't expecting it. You know, it's one of those things. I thought he was enjoying kindergarten. He's doing very well. He's getting some awards and all that kind of stuff. It was just something that it threw me up for a loop. And then also, when I took him back to school, he even played that "I'm sick" card. And so I told him, I said, when I take you back, if you need anything, just have your teacher call me. Sure enough, he went to the nurse's office, said he had a headache, and he wanted me to come pick him up. And I talked to the nurse, and she was really good about it. And I said, let's just see if we can encourage him to stay, at least to after lunch, and see how he feels. And by the time we had that conversation with the nurse, he was like, okay, I'm good. And he actually stayed the rest of the day. So it was a collective effort that I was happy to have experienced. Cheers to that.
He's got to get used to it. He'll get used to it.
Mm-hmm. He was trying to play that "I'm sick" card at 5 years old. I'll figure. I don't know where you get that from. Where do the kids learn this stuff from? I just don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so let's go around table. And again, if you are on my Discord, please send a chat to the public chat. Let us know you want to come and join the panel. We would love to have more input and perspective on the subject matter that we're going to be talking about. I know Vic and I have kind of pre-gamed this topic for about 2 days now or more. And I think we have some really good perspective that we will like to bring to the table, but would love to hear from you all if possible. So Liz, how's your day been before we get started? Talk about your day. How have you been? Say hello to everybody and anything you want to say to get us started.
Yeah, I haven't been online much today. I was busy doing a lot of other crap. So I'm kind of out of the loop, what's going on, but I'm here now.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, good to have you back. I mean, we were having some boy time on Discord earlier today, and I'm sure you didn't miss any of that.
Not if you were talking sports, dude.
No, I think we were talking about boobs or something else. I don't know. Just kidding.
Yeah. Not my favorite topic either. Did you have Paul in the chat or not?
Paul was kind of spearheading the conversation, so you can imagine where it went.
Right, that's exactly what I was about to say. Paul was in full form on today's chat.
Full Paulness. Yeah. And I know exactly what the conversation was like.
And Vic, how are you doing today, sir? If you want to say hello to everybody and kind of give us a recap of how your day has been, or week has been thus far.
Oh yeah, everything's going good with me.
Awesome.
It's good to see everybody in chat, and hello to those that I didn't get a chance to say hello to earlier. And like Brian said, man, come on up and join us. It's always good to get different perspectives when we're talking about topics, especially when it has to do with YouTube and the internet and all that, because we all have different experiences, been around different lengths of time. So,
Angel,
yeah,
I know
everything's cool. Everything's kind of back to normal here.
back to normal from school starting for everything, and you kind of got
Yeah,
into
well,
a
I don't know.
rhythm.
Yeah, well, I know you guys know, but my kid's mom got COVID right at the beginning of school, so everything kind of got thrown off, and the boys were with me for 2.5 weeks, which is great. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's a different schedule, especially at the beginning of school.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like now everybody's back. She's back healthy. They're back on a normal schedule. They seem to be doing good. My younger one he's a freshman, but he seems that he's um, adjusting well, and
Good.
just taking it day by day, and just trying to do my thing, on YouTube, whatever that thing might be. So we got we got a message that says I'm not in the Discord. We have a what's the Discord? We got an I love date nights. Okay, that's like that. I think that's in reference to something else, I would assume.
Is Jay Anonymous in the
Because
chat too? I see somebody saying Jay
if
Anonymous.
you
Is Jay
consider
Anonymous in?
this, yeah, if you consider this date night, then well, anyway, that's
Wow. Well, hey, hello, Duchess. I don't know if I said hello to Duchess of Dutchness. Hello, King Corso. Penguin, I know you're on Discord. Come on up on panel. Come share this topic with us. And I'm going to say also with Penguin, I thought, because my son has been with us at home, and I work from home, office out of home unless I travel. Um, and he's been around us since he was born. So going to kindergarten was also a very emotional moment for my wife and I, and we think that we had to adjust a little bit more than he had. And I think that's why the setback today was a little bit more eye opening for me, because I just thought that he was just adapted so well. But I know it still takes kids to kind of have that, especially when they start being emotional attached to their parents. And I think it's called an emotional detachment or some separation anxiety is what it's called. And they go through that when they've not been in preschool and they've only been around their parents. So I think that had something to do with it today. So anyway, shall we get into it, Vic?
sure. Maybe
Okay.
starting the conversation will get some people else to come up.
Okay.
Is
So
Angel in here? I thought I saw him earlier, but then I didn't
look,
see him anymore.
I see. I know Angel is around. Hopefully he does come up. I hope Penguin, who said that she wanted to be a part of this discussion, I hope that she comes up, because I just think it's going to be a really good conversation for a lot of people. And I would love, like you said, I think it would be a lot of information from that I could glean from just other people's perspective who've been doing YouTube a lot longer than I. So let's just jump into it. Let's start with the first one first. The one I put last, I'm going to start with first. What does it mean on YouTube or social media when someone says they are going to go real life on you? I just am not sure. It's like woke. I don't fully understand it. And maybe there are people who have maybe experienced someone going real life on them. I think maybe I have, but it wasn't. It was maybe even an attempt to kind of go real life. I don't know what Vegas Valley is, his little attempts to, show whatever background check he thinks he has. Is that going real life? What exactly is going real life on social media? Let's start with Liz first. If Liz, if you want to make a comment or give us an opinion first before we're Vic.
Well, let's see. To me, it would mean physical trying to initiate physical contact at some level. And I haven't seen much of that. Or by doxing by phone of things like people's jobs or government agencies or things like that. Um, that's what I see in the time that I've been on as what I consider going real life. I've seen both. So though that's kind of where I would draw the line until I see something different happen.
Gotcha. Vic, floor is yours. I'm typing, so that was why people are talking to you. And Eric Lawless thinks that you're, I guess, Eric Lawless thinks that you're Quick Vic, I think, Vic.
Hey, he wouldn't be the first one. I'm sure he won't be the last one.
Yes, you will not. Let me also get everybody over. Let me undo this, so I'll make it public. Our section for tonight. So Vic, what do you think? What is going real life?
Yeah, I mean, I've been giving this some thought since we've been talking about it. I mean, obviously, showing up in person at somebody's residence or work or school is real life. But for me, it's any time that you kind of go outside of whatever the social media platform that you're on, to either intentionally or unintentionally cause issues. I think sending threatening messages or texts, I mean, I would consider it that going real life. Harassing somebody with, again, intentionally or unintentionally with phone calls at odd hours that could disturb that person or their family. By my boundaries is going, real life. Obviously, calling people's work and stuff is, CPS and all those things we hear, is kind of the obvious, real life stuff. But I believe the other things, I don't want to go into, specific details, but people know what I'm talking about and the things that people are done, have done or are doing.
Right. Well, and that's the thing.
That's one reason that I try to protect my anonymity so those things, don't happen because
and what's
I don't
the
want
point?
it to go real life.
And what's the point of going real life? Do you think? What is the because here's what here's my whole spiel on this. When people who want to be internet tough guys, the one thing that I always say that they are adamant about, they don't like PP touchers and they don't like snitches. Doxing people is snitching, if you ask me. It's the lowest form of cowardly act that I think you can engage in on social media. Telling on someone is what doxing is, right? Am I wrong?
No, I agree. Especially if people are making it a point to keep their as much anonymity, as they can. You've got people out there that use their real name for, their YouTube name, like Michael Cerrone does. Well, obviously, you're going to use your real name. You're kind of putting yourself out there. And I even started out that way. I started out using my real name. That's how naive I was, and it didn't take me long to catch on to, yeah, probably not a good idea. I think I'll switch over to this, and I've been Flaky Jake ever since. But, if a person is trying to maintain some level of anonymity, then yeah, doxing is. I don't know if I'd call it going real life because you're staying within the confines of the social media platform, but you're still trying to cause some level of emotional harm to someone. Hey, Dutch, you're muted.
Yes,
I know.
Okay.
I was waiting. Hi, panel.
Hey.
Go ahead, Liz. Finish.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Eric Lawless says doing anything off YouTube, basically. But what I'm asking is, what is going real life on YouTube? Is going real life, trying to intimidate, like people were saying in the chat, going after relatives and friends, trying to bully you into silence or submission? I mean, why is it that people feel as if when someone disagrees, doesn't like them, that they have to take it to this term of going real life on someone just because either their feelings got hurt or they feel as if somebody doesn't like them?
Well, those aren't good enough reasons for doing anything, in my opinion.
Well, yeah,
Your
I'm
feelings
not,
get hurt.
I haven't been around long enough I don't understand it either, because I would never do it. So it takes,
No,
I'm
me
trying to
neither.
understand why anybody would feel as if they need to, as Eric Lawless would say, if a Karen, why would they want to call the store manager on someone if just because, they disagree with either someone's opinions, whatever they're talking about, or just, who they're hanging out with. I've seen that. People get all up in arms because you're hanging out with somebody that they don't like.
And the
Like,
other excuse. I'm sorry.
well, that's okay. I was going to say, I mean, I don't see any good that's possibly going to come out of putting out information on someone that they haven't put out there, or even repeatedly putting it out there. Putting out someone's address, their work address, phone number. It's an intimidation thing, and it's
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mhm.
it's just asking for trouble to come to that other person. I don't know
Right.
any situation that somebody's put out some information on somebody and something good came out of it. It's all
Right.
this, so I don't think it's and I personally I don't think it's right across the board. I'm not for it. People want
Me
to
neither.
use their real name, that's fine. Hey, Brian wants to, give us all his phone number right now. That's his business. But even if I had it, it's not my business to
Mm-hmm.
to
Right.
put it out there for people. And I get it. A lot of it is public information, but you're taking away the burden of the person to go look for it. I mean, I could go get people's information if I wanted based on some of the things I know, but this idea of putting it out there so it's readily available to anybody, to me isn't right.
Let me ask this question. For those of us that have seen it done, for however long you've been out there on YouTube, when have you ever seen it done and not thought of it as being done maliciously?
Never.
Because I've never, yeah, exactly. To
I can't
me,
think of one
anytime
offhand.
yeah, me neither.
Well, let me
A
ask you this
It's
question.
doxing that
always,
was done like non-malicious?
Yes.
yeah,
No, I don't think that exists.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't either.
Well, let me ask you this
Yeah, I've
question
never seen
because
somebody say, "Hey, it's Brian's birthday, guys. Here's his address. Everybody send him a card."
Mm.
well,
That's just not,
here
yeah, not a
here's a
thing.
question. Here's a part that I think maybe has been overlooked, or maybe no one's brought this up yet. But do you also think that doxing can be, I don't feel good about myself, so I have to make other people look bad in order for people to make me look better?
Oh, 100%.
It could be like Vic said, it could be an intimidation tactic. Like if you're good at finding people's information, then you're going to use that as a talent to scare people into submission. So yes, that could
So, but
possibly
just
be a
what are
reason
they
why someone
submitting?
does it.
What are they submitting to?
Um, that's the thing that I don't understand. Because
Yeah,
you
I
would
don't.
think that there's an ultimate win at the end of it, but it never,
Right.
like the docs is not the end of it. Like the docs is basically mostly the beginning of a long feud beef between two people.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it just like the ultimate power over the other person?
Yeah, it's like a power play, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing that I can come up with.
How
Yeah.
many of you? How many of you heard this growing up? It takes two people to argue. It takes two to fight. one of you has to
To
be
the
the bigger
team.
person.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
That's
So
why I get so frustrated when I hear them say, "Well, they swung at me first, so I'm gonna swing back."
Mm-hmm.
Well, you
Well,
don't
that's
have
the
to
whole
swing
tit for
back.
tat, eye for an
Yeah.
eye
Right.
stuff,
Yeah.
and let's be honest though. If it weren't for a lot of that, a lot of these channels and a lot of our interest wouldn't exist.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
True.
But you would
That's
think
You know?
that
true.
it would go. You would think it would have a beginning and have an end, right? You would think as the channel's members mature, learn how to navigate within the realms of social media, learning after, our own mistakes, that things like this should really kind of start falling by the wayside, not being
It
more prevalent.
It should be the end of it, but now you have people that dox, and after the dox, they go real life. They talk to family members. They call CPS. They call your job. They try to get you fired. They
Yeah.
they make up false reviews if you have a business or whatever. Like it's the start of a whole feud. Yep, like again, it's the start of a whole feud, and more people are gonna get involved because it's a snowball effect. Like
And let
if there's someone in the community that people don't like, then that person is gonna be the number one target. Once the information is out there, anybody can do what they want with it,
Mhm.
which is dangerous if you think about it.
Absolutely. I think it's all dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me just be clear. We are not specifically talking about anyone. So I see people in the chat want to call people out for whatever behaviors they have. Listen, your past is your past. This is not about specific individuals. This is collectively what we are seeing. How are we dealing with it? What's your opinion on it? Can we do better? Solutions, maybe even. And then what is the alternative? Like if you have a disagreement on social media, what is the alternative than going real life on somebody if you really want to kind of impress upon the individual that either you're tired of their BS or you want their bullying, their online bullying to stop? Now, here's a fact, people. And a lot of people know this is not doxing myself, but everyone knows I'm in cybersecurity. Adult bullying, cyberbullying is on the rise. That is a fact, folks. Adult cyber bullying is on the rise.
Wow.
And one
Yeah.
could ask themselves, are we contributing or are we not contributing to that factor? What say you, panel?
I think we
Mm.
are.
Yeah, in specific sectors and specific communities, definitely we are
Yeah.
contributing.
Yeah. Even if
Yeah,
we're
I
just
can't. I can't.
watching.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
but
disagree.
if you're even if you're observing, like you're still you're lapping it up almost. Like it's entertainment for the people
Yep.
that watch.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I mean, how many of us, and let's just be, we can be honest with ourselves. We don't have to put it in chat. We don't have to say it here. But how many of us have seen a upcoming live, and in the description it was, "Today we go after somebody," or even saying, "Hey, there's going to be a full docs of information on, person X." And how many of us had looked at that and been like, "Ooh, okay, 6:30, I got to tune into that." I
mhm.
mean, let's
Exactly.
be honest, and I'm very much, against doing it, but it has raised my curiosity. Or and people say, "Oh, we're going to do an Allah Akbar." Those of us who've been around know what that is.
Right.
So if we're tuning in, we're tuning in to see whatever that's going to be, whatever whatever information it is, how it's presented, and we're contributing to it.
Yep.
And that's
But are we
kind of,
guilty by association?
well, that's a good question.
Well,
That's a good
yeah,
question
that is a
because
good question.
again, I haven't really been on, and it has nothing to do with my behavior, but I haven't been on panels since I was on Tommy's panel when I was going after State the Obvious for doing what he did to Angel. But here's the
Mhm.
deal about that. I misspoke on a lot of things, but one of the things I misspoke on was I don't care if people want to go and view and hang out at Vegas Valley. I don't care if people want to go and hang out at the Peas or Angels or wherever else you want to go on YouTube. I don't think that should ever be a differentiating factor if you want to associate with someone on YouTube or social media. However, if that person is on a panel laughing and joking with my wife's pictures up there, or they're trying to demean or trying to harm me, my reputation, and they're on that panel and they're condoning, signing off on that, then I do have the right, I think, in order to, either group you in with that type of behavior and no longer associate with you, or I think that you are. No, I'll just leave it at that. I think it's okay for someone to no longer associate with that person, but not if you're just on chat, casually talking to other people, because people follow other people over there. They stay in the chat and they have good banter with just being on the chat and not the panel. But I think it's different if you're on the panel condoning and signing off on some deplorable behavior I see.
Yeah.
That's
Laura,
that's a tough one, honestly, because if you look at some of the chats and some of the panels that have been happening, a lot of them are so busy and people talk over each other that half of the time you don't even know what the other person is saying. So
Mhm.
yes, you're on panel, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you actually catch on to what is happening. So
Well, but I think that's
there's
the
a few.
point.
Yeah, I mean,
I,
I'll
Go
agree
ahead.
sometimes with that, but I think I think what Brian's talking about are the times that it's, inherently obvious what's happening, the doxing, the
Mhm.
showing of pictures of family members in
Oh yeah, for sure.
compromising positions, and people are up there and
Right.
laughing about it,
Right.
or not, saying anything, and then going somewhere
Right.
else and saying, "Gee, I think all this is wrong. You shouldn't do it." And I say, "Well, wait a minute.
Mhm.
You
If
are,
it's just in conversation, if it's just in conversation, then it's different. Like
Right.
sometimes you don't hear what happens, but if
yeah,
it's
no, that's
Yes.
true."
pictures
Yeah.
being shown and all that kind of stuff, yes, then you're definitely condoning to it.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Let me be clear. I'm not talking about just having conversations, because a lot of people are probably not even listening to what we're saying. They're having their conversation in the chat. I get it.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that when you have people who are like, we were talking about doxing, my wife's pictures up there with cum all over her face and all these stupid other little things that people do. If you're on panel and you are laughing, conversing with people on panel while all this is stuff going on, I think it's okay for you to distance yourself from that person, even though they're not the one who found the picture, posted the picture. I think you can be grouped and be considered guilty by association in that aspect.
Yep. Well, that's tribalism for you.
Well, I'm not sure if that's
Amen. Yeah,
tribalism.
yeah. Well, I
Well,
think the
because
tribalism is you when you have this kind of moving line of morality, and say,
right,
"Oh, look what so and so did over there," but yet when someone that you're okay with does it, then you don't call it out.
right,
That's where
that's
that's what the
tribalism comes in.
That
tribalism,
that happens.
and the selective outrage, and you
Hmm.
Right.
believe that so and so did this, but
Right.
someone else is doing a very similar thing, and you're not saying anything about,
Hmm.
that's, and I don't go in for that. I mean, in fact, and I think Brian can attest. I mean, I tend to hold people that I have more respect for and consider to be, um, you know, uh, I don't know, I'm more moral, but people I'm closer with, I tend to hold them more accountable. Because there are
Absolutely.
some people that I just come to, what they do, I expect. So there's nothing really to say. It's either I tune it out, or don't say anything. It's only when I see something that that I think is out of character, or over that line, and that's
Mm,
an always moving line for a lot of people.
Good segue.
moving the
Good segue though, Vic, because that can kind of slide us right into the main topic: is your reputation. on social media?
Mhm.
One, do you know what it is, your own reputation? And number two, even if you have one and you want to change it, is it possible? And do you think it can be done?
Yeah, I think it can be. But I think it has to be done by behavior, not just words, over time.
Um, I have an opposing opinion on that because I think it cannot be done unless you scrub everything about you from the internet. Otherwise, it's going to be there on the internet, and especially in a community or on YouTube. I'm not going to say community or whatever, but on YouTube specifically, if you're in some kind of drama, people are going to find stuff on you, and it's still going to be out there. So even if you change your behavior, they can still Google and find stuff with the Wayback Machine, even. You know?
So
Well,
I'm gonna
that's true.
so I'm so I'm gonna say yes. It could still be out there, but I'm going to agree that, or with Liz, that it's your behavior moving forward, and I believe it can be changed, and believe it can be changed within the same community if you change the behavior, your apologies are sincere, and you do it with humility, and you're willing to let it happen over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said this on a panel one time regarding a particular incident. Um, you don't get to choose when the apology is accepted. You don't get to choose when this ends.
Right.
You can move on from it, and that's fine. But it doesn't mean everybody else is going to move on from it. That may take some time. And this whole thing kind of got started because I was saying that on here, reputation, is everything. And once you get this reputation, as a liar or as a doxer or as a racist or whatever it might be, it's going to take time. And I guess one thing that someone told me one time is 10 miles in and 10 miles out. So if you made kind of one off color remark, it may take you less time to live that down. Now, if it's a repeated behavior over time, it's going to take a repeated behavior of these amends and humility in order for that to change. And again, if your attitude is, well, I'm doing everything right now, and you guys still aren't accepting me, and so whatever, then it's not going to happen.
Well, let me also rebut Dutchy, if I may, because Dutchy, you and I are relatively new acquaintances.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever gone and seen a panel with me and my former co-host, have you?
No. No. I haven't.
But those videos all are out there. Every one of them with Marcus, Liz, and other people, they're out there. So even though you have, and I'm not saying I'm not ashamed of having them out there, but when you have, I know the internet has a long memory, especially if you keep the media out there or someone's clipped it. A lot of times when people meet you, they don't go back and look at your catalog and go, "Oh, I saw this one from 2 years ago, and Brian was talking about manscaping. I don't like that guy
Mhm.
now." People just don't. I think people like myself, and I believe Liz and Vic are articulating the same opinion. I always like to judge people on how I interact with them, not with what someone
Yeah.
told
Right.
me, not what someone showing me that this person did 10 years ago or had a beef with these people. I don't care. Even on
Right.
social media, I don't care. I'm going to invite you to, if I think that you have a mind where you can articulate good, relevant, articulable opinions about a topic that we're on, you're invited. Until you do something that I think is either racist or really just really degrading or bad, deplorable, I'll still hang out with you on social media. It doesn't have to get to that depth of ignorance for me to just hang out with you on YouTube. It shouldn't have to go to where you're doxing and being just a despicable person. Going that low on YouTube or social media, it's just weird to me. Still can't get my head around it. Why people do it.
Well, I'm going to admit something here. It's constantly a challenge for me if I am building a relationship online with somebody, especially through Discord, okay, because that's a little less public, and I come to, I start to, be fond of this person, whoever it might be. It's and I know from something happened 2, 3, 4 years ago, and someone else was, did something to them, and they have a beef with that person or whatever. I constantly have to watch myself because I immediately want to um, support them, and what's the word I want? Not like the same people they don't like, or not trust the same people they don't trust just because of how I feel about them.
Well, that's that herd
And
mentality.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's for me personally, I have to fight that all the time. I do.
Well,
I
let me
think
just real
we all
quick.
do.
Well, before you guys go into the panel, there's a lot of things that people are saying in the chat. I want to bring up to attention, to everybody's attention. Penguin was saying, when somebody wants to change their behavior and or change from their past mistakes, and it's hard when other people are pointing it out every day what you've done in the past. I think that's a good point. If you're trying to move on and you're trying to kind of
Yeah.
set a precedence where you can have articulable conversations with other people without all the nonsense from your past. I think people should be more open-minded to giving people other chances if they, feel as if they can have good conversations, and that person can prove that they can have conversations without going back and and returning to those old ways. Let me be frank. 2 examples I'm going to give you. Vic Ferrari. There's no one on YouTube that I talk more than to Liz, Vic Ferrari, Paul Veen, and Liz Lizardbreath. There's no one on social media. But Vic and I did not always see eye to eye. Vic did not like me at a time for a time. There was a time, and I'm not sure whose panel it was, that Vic saw me and Megan have this conversation, and Vic came to me and said, "Hey, I think I might have been mistaken about you." And ever since that day, he and I have been thick as thieves, no doubt.
I was on your panel. You
It
and
was on the
Megan.
panel. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing a live, and I came over to talk to you guys, to apologize and explain, why it was that I said the things I did, and part of it was the herd mentality, and that brings you a good point that I was going to bring up. Um, I like to talk to people. I like to talk to people individually. I like to talk to them off of, and privately, a Discord chat or at least a DM. But I like to do the voice stuff. To get to know somebody, and
Exactly.
I
Yep.
always welcome people to say, hey, if there's something that I said, or somewhere I am and you don't like it, or this or that, I'm not that hard to find. Let's talk. We're not to fight, we're not to argue. But I like to get to know people, like that, because this idea of watching people on panel, seeing what they post. You can get to know somebody like that, but when you really talk to someone, and especially if you can do it, like I said, when the cameras are off, quote unquote, then maybe people aren't putting up the character, because all of us are playing a character. So, to certain extents, some people are more true to who they are, I think, than others. But when you can do that back there and get to know somebody, then you can make that determination. Hey, this person's all right, or I don't know, this person seems like they're still, kind of shading me around, and that's what I like to do, because I've been in the same situation as, well, all of us. I'm cool with this person, and then somebody's like, oh yeah, but did you see what they did over here? And, oh, I got this clip of this, comment they made 3 years ago where they used a racial slur, or they doxed me, or they did whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, but I'll take that in, but I also want to get to know the person.
Well, that's one of those things also,
Yeah, I
because
agree.
when you are
Feel the
on
same way.
YouTube and I'm seeing the chat again. I'm bringing some of their points back in here. That
Oh, Brian's not hearing him.
Can you hear me?
Again.
You can't hear me
at all. I don't know if you guys are or not.
No, I'm not. Here. Yeah, I see his lips moving.
Yeah.
Hold on. Now is that better?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I think
we can
also...
hear you. Whether it's better or not, I don't know.
let's go back to beefing, Vic. Let's go back to beefing. So, but here's my thing too is that, bringing some points from the chat, that people who say things online, I already say this all the time, they would never dare ever say it to my face, ever. And the same goes with a lot of people. You get a lot of people, you've never seen them cam up. You don't know what they look like. They're probably on their computer in their mom's basement playing this internet tough guy. I just don't buy it. It takes a lot to intimidate me. I don't think I've ever been intimidated on YouTube or on social media ever. But bullies do try to go after people that think that they can bully into submission, bully to like them, bully into following, the way they navigate in these YouTube streets. There's a lot of that stuff that goes on. And if you have a reputation as a bully and people can figure out that you are a bully, I think that in itself is a really hard reputation to turn around and to navigate back into being a normal person. But liars also, if you're a liar, because we were talking about some other things that happen and transpire, once you are found out that you can't be trusted, I also think that's hard to come by. Now, here's one last point I'm going to make before I pass it on to the panel. A lot of people say you just don't know everybody on YouTube and this is all pretend. I disagree. This is all pretend. Because we are not putting on a show. We aren't like these YouTubers that, pull these pranks on people and they are these caricatures that they created for millions of views. We are on doing live. We're articulating our opinions about topics, about people sometimes, and other things. So we are putting our real selves out there. This is not a show. So I think, in my opinion, and what I try to do is to be authentically me. I don't try to fake the funk. I don't try to be someone that on somebody else's panel that I'm not on another person's panel. I think that if you try to have a reputation where you're genuine, people don't have to share your opinions or your views. But if you come across as being a genuine person, I think that helps you navigate more effectively on YouTube and social media. And hello, Penguin. Thank you for joining the show.
Hey, is my microphone okay? Can everyone hear me all right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
No, I can hear you.
Okay. Sometimes I really worry about that because sometimes when people hear me, I'm either way too loud or it's way too soft.
You sound perfect. I got the mic check.
You're right in the pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
You're
the
right in the
sound
pocket
checks
for me.
on their side. I can navigate and control that on my side anyway, so you're good. So, anybody rebut my point there? Anybody has anything to think about what I was mentioning?
No, I agree. I think that people on YouTube are real people. People are the whole thing, like, this isn't real life. This is just a show. This is entertainment. Yes, I say it. But that is the thing for me. Like, I'm there for entertainment, but I'm also genuinely me. But I also recognize that for other people, this is real life. It is real life for me too, because I'm not dreaming. This isn't some kind of simulation. It's happening in real
Right.
time. So to me, yeah, everything is just, it's real life. You meet people, you become friends with them, you start to get to know them. Like, I'm starting to get to know Brian right now, and I started to get to know Liz. I started to get to know Vic. Those are the things that happens over time, but that's because genuine people talk to each other in genuine conversation.
And then they leave without a word.
And
I heard somebody in the background was saying then they leave and do act like something else. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
that's what you heard. Yes.
Okay. Well, but that's a good point. Because that's why sometimes you see me on a lot of different panels, just because in order for you to really understand a person and get to know a person, you really want to see them out in different elements. Like if you have friends in real life, you want to see what they're like before you really say, oh my God, I really like this guy. I might say, hey, I like playing golf with this guy, but then we go have drinks and he gets drunk, sloppy drunk, and falls out of the table. I'm like, I don't like this guy. So before you formulate a real opinion, I think it's good to see people and how they maneuver on different panels and different live streams in order for you to really get a good gist of who they really are.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but when it comes to how I present myself, I
Right.
am. So it's, I'm not trying to put on a show. I'm not trying to be anything I'm not, and I'm not because I'm not good at that. So why would I?
That's
Right?
recognizing your strength.
Well,
It is.
I don't know if it's a strength or a weakness, Dutchy, but
I mean, it's a strength to recognize your weakness. So hey, there you go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, it's always best to be yourself, because then you don't have to think about it as you're doing it.
Right.
Yeah, it's too much work
I
to be
mean,
fake.
yeah.
Too
I mean,
lazy.
I try to be as authentic and true to myself, as I can. And like Brian said, I mean, I do it on whatever panels I go to. I mean, sometimes there's a little more, I mean, a little more drama and yelling, and sometimes there's a little more fooling around and joking around. I mean, when we come
Right.
here, I mean, and it's the same thing here, right? Sometimes if it's just us, we'll, kind of kid around more, and if we're trying to have a more serious discussion, whatever that means, like this, they try to be more like that. But
Right.
and that's where I think kind of reputation comes in, because I've gone on a couple of panels where wanted to, I confront's a strong word, but have a discussion with something about somebody they said, and right away, oh, let's see the receipts. I didn't say that. I want to see the receipts. My answer
Yeah.
was, well, my receipt is my word, because nobody's ever seen me go around making up anything about anything anybody said, and I have no motivation for that. I'm just here to talk about what's going on. I don't clip things. I don't record things, but I'm sober, and I remember what I hear. And
Right.
so let's be real with each other and talk about it. Now, if you want to deny you said it, and because I don't have a clip, well, right away there's an admission of guilt in my opinion. And so I think that's where reputation comes in, because some people have a reputation of, either making things up, or um, exaggerating what was said, or manipulating what was said. And I try not to do that, so that way my word is good, and we can have a discussion.
I don't know if it's actually about manipulation, because I think when you jump up on a panel, you know that you actually have something to say. Like you don't do that very often. So there's a difference when Vic Ferrari jumps up on a panel, you know that there's actually something that he has on his mind. He needs to get out, he needs to confront someone, or your word is actually valuable. But if you look at me, and I'm gonna just compare the two of us, I jump on all the panels. I talk a lot of things. I talk not I talk a lot of shit or anything, but I like to talk. I like to have fun, and I like to confront people. When I say like, okay, this is my opinion, I think that you're lying, they're going to tell me, show me the
Show me
receipts.
receipts, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they know that my word is less valuable because it's everywhere compared to Vic's word. That's at least how I see it. And I got into the habit that if I'm confronting someone, I need to have the receipts. That's just the community that I'm from. Like if you
Right.
have something, confront them with the receipts, or otherwise just don't say anything, because it's just an admission of lying, right?
Let me ask this question. Now,
Speculation. Yeah.
listen, you came on panel, everybody's on panel, so you signed up for everything that happens on the panel. So let me play game show host for a second. And let's go around the panel And I would like for first to start round one, I would like to know from each of you, do you know what your YouTube reputation is? And if you want to say what you think it is, feel free to share it, but you don't have to put it out there. But if you think you know what your reputation is, and listen, people in the chat, this is not a bashing session. If you think the person who's talking is spot on with their reputation, put a 1. If you think that it's something different, just put a 2. You don't have to tell me what it is, but I want to know if you think that the person who's talking about their own reputation is spot on or not. 1 if they're spot on, 2 if you think that they're clueless about their own reputation. So the newest person to the panel gets to start first. Penguin, unfortunately, that was you. So there you are
Yeah, I
on the
got
hot
it.
seat. You're the hot seat.
Okay. So I would like to think that people, my reputation, I want to say, people would say I'm an animal lover. People that don't like me would say I'm a real lifer. I would like to say I do tend to ramble. I guess they could call me rambling penguin. That's a flaw I think I acknowledge more than half the time in myself. I don't really go on YouTube and have a channel that much anymore, but when I did really random subjects. I never really stuck to one thing. So that's what I would say with my reputation at least. With people that do like me, I think they would consider me a good friend on YouTube. But yeah, that's how I would classify mine.
All right, people, you've got 30 seconds. 1 if you like what you heard and think that Penguin's spot on, or just a 2. Again, this is not a bashing session, so please, no bashing, no nonsense. We're not going to look at that anyway. I'm looking for is 1 and 2s. But put a 1 and 2 if you like what you heard and you think that's spot on. A 2 if you think that's not really the reputation that you believe. So let's move on. I like the fact I'm going to put a 1 because I don't really know Penguin. I am only getting to know her, and so I really don't really think I can formulate an opinion or know her reputation. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Got a lot of 1s, some 2s, but a lot of 1s. Liz, let's start with you, my lady.
Wow. I guess the first thing I'd have to say is that I honestly don't think I can presume to know what anybody out there thinks about me.
Just
I honestly,
for the sake of TV, and I'm the game show. I'm asking the questions. Just filibuster. Just tell me what you think.
I would hope
Embellish.
they would see. Okay, I would hope that they would see that I try to be polite, that I try to be kind, that I try not to, even if I'm calling somebody out for usually lying or being disingenuous, or disagreeing with them, even that I never go low blow, or at least try not to. There's a couple people I've probably gone lower than I should have, but basically I would hope that they would see that I'm trying to treat people online exactly as I would in real life. I don't know if everybody can see that or not, but that's what I would hope for.
If you know Flaky Jake, I know I'm calling her Liz, but if you know Flaky Jake and you think that her self appraisal, self assessment is accurate, spot on, please leave a 1. If you disagree, please leave a 2. We'll get back with you tomorrow.
I don't want to see it.
I want to see a lot of 2s, please. A lot of 2s out there.
You little brat.
I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds to. Nightbot loves you, Liz. And by the way, Nightbot is my bully. He is real life, and he will go real life on all you mother suckers whenever I tell him to. So be nice to me. You got a lot of 1s,
Nightbot
Liz.
hates me.
Not as much as
You're
Laura
all
Raider.
You're all being exceptionally kind, and I appreciate it.
Amanda Erickson gave you a 3. That's
You were
hilarious.
spot on. So, you
Well,
know.
I can't, Brian. I can't see Amanda. She has me blocked. So there
Oh,
you
okay.
go. Sorry, Amanda.
Well, she doesn't know you very well, is what she said, so she put you a 3. But anyway, Dutchy, you are now in the hot seat.
Yes. Well, let me start off that I think that I'm controversial. I am annoying and irritating to most people in the beginning. Um, I'm everywhere. Um, I think that people sometimes think that I'm funny, that I'm trying to lighten the mood. Sometimes I'm trying to get the shit show started because I'm in the drama community. Um, but they do know that I will not lie about stuff. I will have a if I go at someone, if I have an opinion, if I want to start something with someone, there's a reason for it because I want to get their perspective or I want to have that debate with them.
Mhm.
Other than that, I think that they just see me as the annoying Dutch person. So, you know.
Okay. All right, folks. You have 30 seconds. If you think that Dutchy of Duchessness or Dutch of Duchessness or whatever, let's call it Dutchy, is spot on.
Dutchy.
put a 1 in the chat. If you think that she is embellishing her reputation a little bit, put a 2 in the chat. Let us know what you think. Vic Ferrari said two.
Vic, you hater.
Yeah,
They hate
Vic, you're
us
welcome.
because they ain't us, right, Dutchy?
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Vic and me have like this love hate relationship. Like right now we're hating each other. Tomorrow we'll love each other. So it's gonna be okay.
Well, and again, the point of this exercise is not really to get people's opinions, but it's like a self examination. Do you really know? Do you sit back and have any self awareness? Do you go back and take a look at yourself on YouTube to see how you act? And I am going to get to Vic in just seconds, but Vic, like I said, Vic is one of the guys that I respect a lot because even when I was on Tommy's, he was one of the few people, not few people, but he was one of my guys. He even said, "Yeah, Brian was an asshole that night." Brian kind of said some things that he made an ass of himself to a certain degree.
Yeah.
And so
Mm-hmm.
that's the kind of people that I think you want to align yourself with, not because they want to fight you and tell you, I'm going to always be on your case because anytime you step over the line, I'm going to be there to call you out. Those are the people that you want to come in and say, hey, look, I would like to be your friend because anytime you are kind of getting out there on that ledge, I'm going to bring you back in before you go too far. Those are the relationships I think fortify really wholesome YouTube experiences for me. But that's me rambling. Let's get back to the game. Guy Smiley here. Welcome to Do You Know Yourself? Well, brought to you by Drinks and Discussions. Anyway, Vic,
Right.
what do you think
Vic
about?
Ferrari, this is your YouTube life.
Yes, sure. let the video play. Go ahead.
First of all, I want to say when you first started proposing this idea a couple of minutes ago, I was like, oh man, this could be a little dangerous, but no, I think it's gone. It's gone pretty well. But anyway, I think people think that I'm pretty true to who I am. Like you said, wherever I go, that I'm honest. I'm proud yet humble about my recovery, and that I'm compassionate towards people and willing to help people where it's needed. Um, I'm sure some people think I'm a little bit sanctimonious and have this idea that maybe I'm above the fray, so to speak. And I get that. And in fact, I mean, up until recently, I kind of had this idea that sometimes, I get onto these panels and, you know, maybe take things a little bit too serious and kind of bring down the mood of whatever's going on the panels.
Mhm.
Um, but I've been told that isn't the case, and so I just think that I appreciate what Dutchy said earlier about when I come up and I have something to say. And I try to be as honest and true to myself as possible. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and open to criticism, and you don't always have to agree with me, but I hope that people think that I present myself in a logical way. Um,
Right.
so that's about what it is.
Well, that is Vic Ferrari, everyone. Leave a 1 in the chat if you think he's spot on. If you don't, if you think he's full of bullshit, please leave a 2. And I hope to see a lot of 2s because I think he's full of
Yeah.
caw. Let me know. Let me know. If you think he's fair on his self awareness, put a 1. If you think that there's something he's missing out on, leave a 2. Now, I think we should be ready for round 2. You guys ready for round 2?
Wait a minute. Wait
What?
a minute. Wait a minute. Where's yours?
Yeah. What about you?
Wait a minute. I thought I'm the host. Nobody cares about the host.
Oh,
Nobody cares about the host.
Oh yes. Oh yes. We
man
want to
up.
know.
Man up, dude.
Oh, okay. If I must, I will say that I think my reputation online is one of slight arrogance, preachy, entitled to a certain degree, holier than thou, long-winded in speech, but also someone who treats everyone the same. I think that I'm a fair individual. I don't pull punches. I will tell you how it is, how I feel if you ask me, but I'm not malicious in my intent. And I also like to try to bring people together the best I possibly can without having people try to trample, trash, or demean, slander other individuals. If Drinks and Discussions could be nothing else, I would hope that people look at us as being topic oriented, not drama oriented. And that is how I think people view me and Drink without going on and on and on and on. Because I could keep talking if I wanted. I mean, I like to talk.
Yes, save it for the outro. Save it for the outro, Brian.
Oh, that's right. I'll keep talking. You wake up in the morning, I'll still be on my outro.
Oh, you know,
Well,
12-hour streams are like the thing right now. So
I see. Well, I don't see. I hear. I don't see. That's what I hear.
Dude, Laura's pretty brutal, man.
I know. Listen, Laura is like, Brian, you gotta stop that preachy. Like, good, thanks. Appreciate it.
That she said on Dutchies, she said, where was it? You had me at something. I forget what it was now.
you had me at annoying.
Annoying. Yeah. She's like, what? You had me at annoying.
And if you
I mean,
if you
it's
did,
true.
and if you don't know, now you know why you have Nightbot after Laura Raider at all times. Now go after her, Nightbot. Sick her. Get her right now. Okay, so round
Got a
2.
wrench.
Round
You
2.
got a 4. That's it. You got a 4 because she's biased.
That's a 4.
Okay.
So here's round 2, and this is going to be a little bit more fun. And again, if you are ever on a Drinks and Discussions panel, see what you're missing out. This is some really good times. And I like to get to know people. So here's what I'm going to do. And I'm purposely not going to pair Dutchy and Penguin. So I'm going to pair 2 people. And I want you both to give your honest opinion about the other. And then I'm going to, at the end, give my honest opinion about everybody on the panel and see how well we do.
That's interesting. Yes.
Oh my God. Give me Penguin, please.
I'm giving you Penguin. I'm giving you Penguin. The pairings are Penguin and Vic Ferrari and Dutchy and Liz. Dutchy and Liz.
No, I'm just playing.
I know.
So, the ladies.
It's probably actually the hardest one for me because it's the person that I really know the least, honestly. But it's good.
Yeah, but it's a good way to pair because I can't be paired with you because you're my cuddle buddy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
No.
that's
Yeah.
that's also why I actually did that. It's because I know Vic and Liz and we speak all the time. So I wanted to get some people who don't really know each other. So Dutchie and Liz, why don't we start with you? Liz, you first on Dutchie, and then Dutchie, you go with Liz.
Well, okay, so
Oh, that's ominous.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You might have been better off with me, Dutchie.
No, give me a second. Give me a second. So I adore Dutchie. She's always, as far as I can tell, watching her, and I see a lot of her. She's always honest. She doesn't. She doesn't get mean. She doesn't get vindictive. She can sling some crap on Discord. I'll say that for her. But so does almost everybody else. And I just enjoy her. I enjoy the heck out of her. I think she's great. I love watching her and listening to her, and I don't know what else to say about her.
It will pass. That's what I have to say about it. It will.
How long have you known her exactly?
I'm glad I got paired with Liz because Vic wouldn't be so nice to me.
Well, I don't have anything nasty to say about you, my dear. I
Well,
don't.
the whole point of this is again talking about the topic of hand. What is your online reputation? What do we know about
Right.
what we know of you online? Not if you know about them personally, because you probably don't know them other than what you've seen online. So
Right.
that's why we're going in right here.
Okay, so online, I think my instinct is that Dutchie is always being herself. She's always being genuine. She's got a great sense of humor, and I appreciate that. The people that are the most genuine and have what I look for in online and in real life is personal integrity. I find that extremely attractive in other people. And I see that in Dutchie. If she says something, she's gonna back it up. She means it, you know. And I don't see her lying. I don't see her being disingenuous. So that's how I see her YouTube persona.
Okay, Dutchie, you're
Thank
up.
Well, I haven't known Liz for like a long time now, but the thing that I have seen from Liz is that she's always like super friendly to everybody. Like she has no personal bias against anybody. Like she's not gonna go with the herd, she's not gonna go into the group mentality. It's just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna observe and I'm gonna watch, and if I like you, I like you. If I don't, I'm just, taking my distance, taking a step back. But she can be a firecracker. I've seen her make some comments that make me laugh out loud in discords or voice chats. I think that she's um a genuine person online that is actually like she's consuming the drama community a little bit, but it's not like for malicious intent or anything. It's just because the people in the community she likes to hang around with, if that makes sense. And I personally I love Liz. I love her. So I'm nothing bad to say.
Oh, cool.
Sweet.
She was gonna talk bad about you on Discord if you said something bad to her. She was gonna get on you.
I mean, that's the thing. That's what
I'm
Discord's
just
for,
kidding.
right?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, that's not what a Discord is for. But it's just a joke. We don't even do that on our Discord. So we keep it cordial. People are surprised when I tell people that about Discord, especially Lore Raider, who still refuses to get on Discord. Well, if you're on our Discord and Dutchie, you're now part of it. If you want to stay in, we do not do drama. We don't talk about people. We talk about things that are going on, and that's it. So hopefully you feel like you want to stick around on Discord and you'll join the panel, but get to know us a little bit better as well and how we maneuver and do things slightly different. And this is why I call Drinks and Discussion is not part of the drama community, because we just do different
Right.
things different.
So you're on the
And
border.
food. Love food. Love to cook.
Love food. Yes, love food. Love showing our foods off and our activities throughout the weekends and all that kind of stuff. And
Oh,
some
you
funny
guys made
memes.
fun of my you made fun of my rice-a-roni with hot dogs. Admit it.
First of
No,
all,
I
I can't
did
believe you
not.
said I cannot believe you said that on a live panel, because everybody now is going to make fun of you with the rice aroni and hot dogs.
That's okay. Bring it.
That's funny. Anyway, it's funny. If you guys saw the picture, laugh at the hot dogs and rice aroni. I've never seen that ever in life.
I would eat it, but I wouldn't tell anybody.
I don't think I'll
Well,
ever
that's
eat
all
that.
part of being genuine. What can I say?
Okay, Penguin, you were up with Vic Ferrari.
Okay, I see Vic from what I've seen online controlled. Very, very controlled. Not one to spurg out at all, but also has like a very, very relaxed tone and very, very he's a cool cat that can go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Like he can just adapt to almost in any crowd that he's in and still maintain composure, even if everyone is like losing their minds.
Mhm.
That would be how I would.
I think you're pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. A cool
I'll
cat that
take it.
can
I
go
appreciate
pretty
that.
much
Yeah.
anywhere, adapt, remain controlled. Like even if he has chaos around him, he could still be like, well, on the next subject right here. You know, like he's just I don't know. I don't know how to quite describe that or how to put that in words.
You know what we call him on our Discord? We call him Uncle Grandpa.
I like that.
Because he comes across as like an uncle, but he may be, because we don't really know, he might be old enough to be our grandpa. We're just not sure. So we just call him both. I hope you enjoyed that, Vic. I hope you really enjoyed that.
Could be. Could be.
All right, sir. The floor is yours.
Man.
Your floor is yours.
Yeah, like I said, going into this, I mean, Penguin is probably the person that I know. The least of us, and then that makes it more interesting, I guess. The panels that I've seen her on, interesting, informed, funny, has a life outside of YouTube. Talks about family and her job. Maybe sometimes to an extent that it comes back to bite her a little bit. I've seen that as well. But I mean that's everybody's personal decision. I try to protect my anonymity as much as I can because I don't want those issues. I don't like the going real life that I hear, but again I don't know the full story behind it and if it was justified. So I keep those judgments open. It isn't something that's I have to be concerned with. I've seen nothing but a genuine person. Great smile, and enjoy seeing her on panels. And again, I haven't seen. I've also seen her very controlled, and the panels and able to hold a conversation on a myriad of topics, and I find that to be important. I mean, if you get into the drama stuff, you can do that, but if you're on something and we're talking about, animals or other topics, politics, that you're, familiar with, you can actually have a conversation about it, and with people that maybe you don't necessarily agree with, and I think that's very much a skill in and of itself. I've seen you on panels with people that have completely diametrically opposed views, and you're able to still have that that conversation, and I think that's that's a good thing. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the purpose of that exercise, and I will give you everybody an opportunity if you want to throw it at me. Feel free. I'm gonna give you an opportunity, but I also will want to give my own personal critiquing or my own opinions of what your reputations are to me as well. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I want people to understand the Drinks and Discussions are going to start doing more lives, and I'm trying to get people like Dutchy, like Penguin, like Vic and Liz and others who are understanding that we may not all get along on every aspect of our YouTube presence, but we can join together on Drinks and Discussions and talk about something that we all might be interested in. We could be talking about either it be Trump or Biden or whatever the case. The latest movie. I want to see the Barbie movie. Is that wrong? I'm a guy. I want to see the Barbie movie. I want to talk about those things.
Oh my God, no. I go through this at home because we're so different politically. It's not weird. Don't feel that.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. I think by getting to know the people on their panel today, maybe you might open your eyes to sit there and go, hey, maybe not on this panel, but on Drinks and Discussions, I can kind of coexist and get along and have a good time on the topics that we're talking about. We don't bring the drama. You can do the drama and stuff, but I want you guys to feel comfortable with each other on Drinks and Discussions panel, and hopefully we accomplished a little bit of that today. Regardless of any past run-ins that anybody may have had, even in the panel. I want you guys to start looking and maybe understanding that people can have reputations, can start to try to make amends for that past behavior and try to formulate or try to, etch a new reputation in the YouTube channel. And I think that we should all be deserving, or if it was me, I hope that you guys will be deserving or give me a chance. And I was deserving of a second chance. And I hope that other people can do the exact same for others. So, do you guys want to go first? Go ahead.
I'd like to comment on Brian.
Oh, wait a minute. So, wait, hold on a second.
And
wait.
And the channel in particular, because most of the channels that I'm just using "we" as as kind of a general term that we frequent could not do the exercises that we just did without a lot of chaos and yelling and you're wrong and this and that. And the fact that you're able to have these type of panel discussions with people and it not turn into that, to me shows the reputation that you have and that the people that come here respect you, because that's not what you're about. And I think I think you could have just about anybody come here and participate like this. And I think and I mean that in the greatest compliment that I can give. Because that's what the channel's about, and people know that, so they're not going to come here and we might joke around and poke at each other a little bit, but not just to open warfare that we see. And again, that takes a skill, and it takes you being in control and keeping things organized. And I think that goes to your to your personality.
Well, thank you very much. I wasn't expecting that, but thank you. I really appreciate that. I think that you kind of like opened the door. So let's go ahead and. I was going to ask if everybody wanted to go first before I went around. So now that you started, let's go around. And if anybody else want to say anything about what they think about my reputation before I blast all of y'all about what your reputation really is like? Anybody? Feel free. I could take it. Trust me.
It's hard. I don't know you as well, so the things that I have seen, I think you're what's the word again?
Arrogant.
Sanctimonious.
Incel. Am I incel? Am I an incel?
He's like verbally very. He's eloquent. He knows how to behave himself in a debate, and I've seen the other side too, like what happened earlier on another panel. Sometimes you get overwhelmed or whatever, or you just get like hyper focused on something. So I don't know. I don't see any bad qualities so far, but again, I don't know you as well. So
Well, since you brought it up, I will tell you that was a Thursday, and I had been drinking on the golf course, and Liz and Vic will attest to it. And I came on a little strong because I was a little liquored up that night, and so I was out of sorts. It was not
No.
me, and I really hope that people who saw that really understand that that wasn't the real me for me, even though I meant a lot of what I said. I just didn't articulate it the way I normally would have if I had not have played golf earlier that afternoon and come over there and tried to be like this Billy Badass and made an asshole of myself. But okay, but thank you, Dutchie. I appreciate that.
Did you get a good golf score that day? I never asked.
All my days now are good, Liz. All my days are really good.
Okay.
I shot at 86. I shot at 86, 89, and I think I shot a 90. 95 was like I tripled the last couple of holes because I was drinking on last Sunday. And that 95 is the highest I've scored in the last, I would say, 5-6 rounds.
Okay. But you're
So
getting more 80s, right?
Oh, absolutely. My handicap is like 16. I got a 16 handicap right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that good? I don't know anything about it.
That's not bad.
That's a good. And
That's not bad.
sometimes when you play different tournaments, they want to pair you up where you got a weaker person and a stronger person, and sometimes I have to go in and actually elevate my handicap for like when I'm actually playing in the end of September. He wants me to be at 18 so we can get our pairing in the draw. He wants us to be able to be in a different group so we don't play with like the really good guys, and then we come in and actually win some money. But anyway, that's a different story.
That's called
sandbagging. Sandbagging. That's exactly what that's called. Exactly.
Well,
I'm a hustler, baby.
What?
I'm sorry.
I said I'm a hustler, baby.
Yeah.
My point was that it might have influenced the mood that you came into that panel with if you shot a really good score that night. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was feeling good about myself. I think that's the reason why I got on there. And I just kind of, I mean, I overdrank. Of course I did. Because, again, Thursday nights, I should never get on panel unless it's ham banana. And I can just be cool and all that kind of stuff. And I took it too far. And I apologized. And I apologized then. I apologize now. And if anybody never heard me apologize, I even apologize to Mr. P, who still wanted to put these little clip videos out there thinking that was going to achieve something. But I apologize to him even on Discord, and it falls on deaf ears. I don't care.
Yeah.
But thank you, Dutchie.
So based on what you said about your the golf situation, we've now determined that you're also dishonest. Is that what I
Stop it, Vic. See, why? I knew I should have ended this like an hour with one. I should have ended when Vic said something nice about me. How about that? I should have ended it right when
I should have been muted immediately at that point.
Right. All right, Liz, you got 30 seconds. Let's go.
Me? What?
Yeah, about me. What's my reputation? What do you think? What my reputation is on these YouTube streets?
Oh, crap. I didn't want to do this. Why do I have to?
Because everybody else just did, except for Penguin, and she's coming up next, and then I'm going to off to you. And by the way, Laura Raider, I was Captain Saber Bro that night, and it was not my best look. I wish I could have gone back and did it differently. Can't, but I was Saber Bro, trying to go off stick up for my boy Angel. I won't say I won't stick up for people, but I won't ever take it to that degree ever again. Hold me accountable. Always, Vic.
Well, all I can say about that situation is, well, look where it ended up.
Actually, I got more followers that night, actually. A lot of people actually said, hey, I appreciate you saying it, Brian. But anyway, go ahead, Liz. Go ahead, Liz. Go ahead, Liz.
First of all, can you hear me? Because the chat's saying my volume has dropped, and I haven't changed anything or moved.
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Some people are saying they can't hear me.
I'll send you a Starbucks gift card if you say something negative about Brian.
Well, you did. Obviously, you guys aren't reading the chat. So a little ways up there, I said something to the effect of, if I'd ever had an illegitimate love child that I didn't get to raise, it would have been either Brian, Vic, Paul, or Veen.
No, I didn't see that part.
Okay, so I was trying to be humorous, but there's some truth in that. I'm very fond of all of you, but I've known Brian the longest. I don't have anything negative to say about him except he moves his stupid stuff around and screws up the the live streams sometimes. Can't hear him, or he's cutting out or whatever because he moves all of his gosh darn equipment around. But no, I think Brian is genuine. I think he's honest. I think he's I know he's trustworthy because he's proven that to me over months and months. I don't have anything bad to say, dude, other than there's a few times when I want to knock you upside the head over. Sometimes your sense of humor, you posted something on the D&D Discord the other day that made a reference to Jesus Christ that I looked at and went, okay, I'm ignoring that one.
Well, that was because Paul double dog dared me to put that GIF out there. It was like me so thorny. That's what that one was, and Paul made me do that.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, that's a different. Don't bring that up on public. But Paul made me do that, and he told me to tag you in it, so I did it. And hey, AC, what's up, AC? What's up, AC? All right, so thank you.
That's the most negative thing I can say, my dear.
Penguin,
Is that.
the floor is yours.
Okay, I would say very diplomatic, very fair.
Yes.
But that would be my two big descriptions. And I also think kind of no nonsense just because of how the Discords run, like in a good way. And a big foodie. Meaning you love food. You love food and secretly jealous that like there's no one that can beat my mom's cooking. I'm sorry. Sorry. I post pictures of her cooking and I know that you love them, but like I'm not even on that level yet.
Well,
I'm never gonna be at that level.
Your mom looks like she could throw down for sure. She looks like she could throw down.
She can, and it's so not right because like then I get higher expectations for like me. Like if I go to a family gathering, everyone's like, "Oh, you learning to do this yet? You learning to do that?" Nope. Nope. I know.
Well,
I know. I'm getting better though. Give me time. Give me time.
Topic for another time. Do women feel the pressure that they have to learn or know how to cook more than men?
Hell yes. Sorry, I'm gonna answer that for me.
Well,
yes.
but I want to go more in depth in that topic, maybe for the next one. But I think that there is some truth to that. But I want to get perspective, more in depth perspective later. But
yeah,
we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. No hot dogs and rice-a-roni though. Okay. So before we have our round robin to say goodnight to everybody, I'm going to give you my perspective, and then I want to say, first of all, the utmost thanks to everyone on the panel and everyone in the chat for coming. We don't do a lot of drinks and discussion lives anymore. I apologize for that. It has nothing to do with anything other than I have just become so busy with my business that I don't even have time to even be on Discord a lot like I used to be, and I get a lot of flack from my guys, Liz, Paul, Veen, and Vic, and Elizabeth, that I don't even join when they're doing stuff even on Discord. I have just been that busy. And with my son starting kindergarten, our household is kind of taking a whole different dynamic, getting them up for school, picking them up, and all this other kind of stuff. It's just weird. So I'm going to do better, and I hope that everyone on this panel feels comfortable enough that when we do it, you're all welcome to be on panel. And I'll say that genuinely, and I hope that you feel that you felt comfortable, that you feel like you can always feel welcome back again. Now, let's get to the nitty gritty. I'm going to start with Liz because I'm starting with her first because she is not the first lady of Drinks and Discussions. That always will be held to Megan, who has always been my right hand person. And even when I was on the other channel, people were saying, "Oh, did you see what he said about Megan?" Blah 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 blah. Megan texted me that night, and she ripped me a new one. And I said, "Oh my God, thank you for doing that." I apologized to her. We hugged it out. She is the first lady of Drinks and Discussions. She's always. But Liz is a really, really close second. She has been with me from the beginning, even when there were people who were just talking about me wearing pink shirts, talking about manscaping. Liz has always been there. I am honest with Liz, and I will tell Liz this, and I will say it in front of everybody. I do get concerned that there are times where you get too engrossed into following some of the characters on the YouTube streets. And I don't want you to be hurt. That is my son approach to you. Not your mother approach, because you give me mother stuff. My son approach is, if I was your son, I would be saying the same thing. Mom, do not get too close and get hurt. I don't want people bashing at you because you just happen to give your opinion, or you were, reaming on this one particular person. I want to protect you at all costs because you are that endearing to me, or I am endeared to you. Whatever that, whatever, you know what I mean.
Thanks.
And so I feel like I have to protect you as my mother, or my confidant, my friend, and you've been around with me, and I always want to make sure, because of that loyalty, that I repay you back no matter where you go. I have to have this helicopter feeling that I have to make sure that you're okay at all times.
Well, you really don't have to do that.
I know that.
The same thing I tell my son, and that is, I don't need his protection, but I will always welcome his help if he wants to give it. Same thing. Because I'm grown and I'm a lot. Well,
I'm going to tell you what I tell my wife.
Older.
I'm going to tell you what I tell my wife. My wife doesn't need me to fight any battle she ever has. But in the case that ever she needs me, she should always have that comfort to know that whenever it does come, that she can count on me to be there.
And I appreciate that. I do. And I'd like to extend this the same. I do get overly protective. I do get overly invested. I think a lot of that is because I always want to take people at face value.
Hold on, Liz. I'm giving opinions and my reputation, what I think. You can't rebut. This is my word is the final word. You don't no rebuttals. You just take it. And you got to go cry yourself to sleep.
Okay, I thought we were
cry yourself to sleep tonight because I was harsh on you. Go ahead. I'm just kidding. But that's how I think. No. My reputation, my opinion.
We're still on the live panel, guys. Just to
yes,
let you know.
Yes, we're still on the live panel. So, thank you, Vic. So, Liz, that's my opinion of you. I think that sometimes you get a little too close to some of the drama. I want you to come back a little bit, but I think that people really believe that you are a genuine person, nice person, and no one should ever have a problem with you, other than the fact that you are associated with Drinks and Discussion. I think that's your biggest drawback, is that people who don't like me will group you into that not liking you because of who you associate with. That guilty by association, right, Dutchie?
Yes.
Okay. So here you are, Dutchie. Here's what I think, what I've heard about your reputation on the YouTube streets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That you are hell on wheels. You don't give a damn. You will call people out, hold them to account, and do not give a rat's ass what people think. You don't cut corners. You're blunt. And some of that may be considered as being honest. I don't really know. But I think that's your reputation. You are just a hell on wheels. And people like that about you. The people who like you like that about you. People who don't think that you don't take a second to kind of really evaluate a situation before you go batshit crazy on them.
I agree. That's a pretty accurate statement. Actually, it's a pretty accurate description of my behavior, I guess.
But my opinion of you personally is that I like people who are honest. I like people who can, hold people accountable, but also kind of have a soft touch. And I'm saying that you have this soft touch because I don't know if I've really seen the soft touch. But I like people who are like you, that also, but have that same mentality, but also use it to bring people together rather than divide people. I like what you stand for. I like that you're honest, and I'm going to leave it at that. And I hope to get to know you a lot better as we move on in the YouTube series.
I hope so too, and thank you for that assessment. That's actually, yeah, I like it.
I already said Vic Ferrari, right? I gave you Vic stuff, right? Or did I not? Did I say Vic?
No.
Yeah, you said I was a terrific person.
All right. Well, yeah, I think you said me, but I didn't say you. So Vic Ferrari and I have battled a lot of different battles. Even before we were allies, we were foes. I am so happy to call him one of those guys that even when I was battling with Angel and other people, I would refer to Nick before I did any type of retaliation. And when I tell you people, everybody in chat, everybody on panel, that we don't stand for that real life nonsense, I have gone round and round with Vic and everybody else on my Discord. Should I do this? Should I do that? And again, I'm in cybersecurity. There's a lot I could have done. A lot I could have said. And everyone in my Discord, every Vic Ferrari included, has said, Brian, you're going to regret it if you did. Talk me off that ledge. And for that, I am forever grateful in my experience on YouTube. And that is one of the reasons why I don't care what anybody says about me. I just don't care. Dox me. If you think that you know my background, whatever it is, dox me. I don't care. It's not going to affect my livelihood. It's not going to affect anything. And people who like me are going to continue to like me. And people who don't, I don't give a fuck anyway. Right? And Vic helped me get to that understanding. So I think Vic's reputation is exactly what's spot on what people are saying. Fair, honest, very, very, has a very delicate approach before acting, and he doesn't really kind of get himself out of sorts to make himself vulnerable to, getting like I did and, saying the wrong things. Very well, very measured in his approach and his rebuttals to things and how he maneuvers in the streets. Can have a good time. If you don't know his sarcastic bullshit behavior or his attitude and his comedic genius, then you're missing out on a lot of goodness because he is the king of subtlety. The king of subtlety.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Penguin, my dear, is the one also that I also do not know. But I have been on a panel with her on Ham Banana. I think I've seen her back when I've seen clips when she was on Joe. And every time I've seen her, even when she was on Vegas Valley, they were trying to do the period simulator. It wasn't about the drama. It wasn't about favorite one. Right. It wasn't about trying to dredge up a bunch of other nonsense. And I have heard that Penguin was at some far distant land before I even was on YouTube, was embroiled into this whole real life stuff. I don't know that. I know there's a reputation, so I'm being honest. I know that's the reputation that she has. I don't know that person. All I know is the person who says, hey, Brian, I am trying my best to get away from my past and get involved with things that we're doing, or you're doing over in Drinks Discussions. If you'll have me, I get it. But if you don't, because people are going to bring up drama, I understand that too. I'm hoping that people see this panel and say, you know what? Why can't we just keep it moving forward? Don't look backwards and see how it happens and see what goes on. Because I think that Penguin does have an element that can actually lead to being a successful panel for anybody. I think having a woman who is just like Dutchie, if you can have a really intelligent opinion about a topic, that makes you a valuable person to have on anybody's panel. And then you can sit there and go, why would anybody even want to have the Mike Cerrone on their panels for the clicks and dumbass comments that he makes? The women are the ones who should be navigating who is getting the clicks and views, because if you look at the studies I've looked at, women kind of control where people really go. And that's why I really am hoping that you guys all feel comfortable and don't feel like I'm some creepy guy by saying women are, getting clicks and views or anything. But I really hope that Dutchie and Penguin and the like are open to just sitting there and going, let's just kind of see how we can all flip this page and try to see how we can, all get along in this YouTube streets, because I really enjoy when everybody gets along. It just makes me feel good that we can all do this on the same panel without one single bit of drama. Like Vic said, this is just great to see, and I love it. And I'm not telling you ladies to say anything about it. I'm just saying I just enjoy having Penguin on panel. Hope that you feel comfortable enough to come back. Dutchie, the same thing for you. Liz, we're going to have a meeting after everybody goes home. We're going to have your probation period, see if we're going to extend that probation, or maybe even, you didn't make the cut. I don't know, but we'll figure that out as we go along.
I definitely
Penguin.
felt welcome here, and I
Well,
appreciate
thank
the
you.
conversation and the discussion.
Thank you very
Hello.
much. Thank you.
Yep,
Cutting
I
out, dude.
established what Brian said there.
Let's say our goodbyes.
Anything now?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Can you hear me now? Okay, sorry. My microphone came unplugged. It's time to cut it short, so let's do a round robin. Everybody has some parting words, what you'd like to say before we end the night. And then we'll hope to see you everywhere. Maybe we can schedule something else before the end of the week. But let's start with the last person in. Let's start with Penguin. Parting words, anything you would like to say to all the people in the chat, and for those who are watching and those who will be rewatching.
This was really fun. I like this. This was calm and relaxing. And I just got to say, that one live that you brought up, that was probably my favorite one I ever did.
I think that's the only one I ever saw you over there, and I think it was rebroadcast on Ham Banana when everybody was kind of like, "What's going on over there?" And sign me up.
My favorite one because it was such a victory for me personally as well as online.
I would do it, by the way. I would sign up and I would strap it on. Wait, hold on. Back it up. No, I didn't say strap it on, but I would actually use the simulator. Put it that way. Let me choose my words carefully.
Okay, but for years, so I have endometriosis, so for years it was, you should be used to this. You have one every month. And I heard that for years. So like when the opportunity came, not only did I get my personal satisfaction of tapping him, it was on a freaking live stream, so no one can forget it.
Oh,
so there's times where I'm like mad at him and I just watch that stream again.
Wow.
Okay, so any parting words other than the video? Any parting words? We're saying goodnight. Any parting words outside?
Oh, I'm sorry. Good. No, it's been fun. It's been swell, everyone. I hope everyone had a good time.
Awesome. Really appreciate that. Liz, you are up next.
I had a great night tonight. I love this. It was challenging and fun. I have to ask Dutch if she thinks this qualifies as a what are we calling them? Cuddle puddles, I believe.
No, cuddle puddles are a lot different. I think this was just an intelligent debate, like a normal conversation.
Okay. I enjoyed it. Thank you for letting me participate. I hope the people watching enjoyed it too, because it was quite a bit different than what we've done in the past.
Mhm.
I think it was great. I got to hand it to, if this was your brainchild, Brian, and between you and Vic, kudos. You did a good job. Great job.
Well, thank you very much.
And yeah.
All right, Dutchie, you're up next.
First of all, yes, thank you for this topic, because I think it's a very interesting topic, and you can go so much further into this. It's like a rabbit hole almost. Um, Parting words. I like debates like this. I like discussions like this. I like the intellectual sparring and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't happen as much in the drama community. And I think that that both of us, actually, Penguin and me, have proven that even if we have personal beef, because we do have personal beef, that we can still be cordial, civil, and have a normal debate when it's not about the drama. So I think
Awesome.
that's a personal victory.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good to hear that. Good to hear that. Vic Ferrari, you're up next.
Well, I just want to reiterate what I said earlier to Brian about being able to, put together a panel like this, do what we did, and not have it turn into something negative. And that's what goes on over here for people who are kind of tuning in for the first time, think this is a one-off. Oh yeah, but wait, watch what they do next time. Not to that that's what happens here. And I'm hoping that I know Brian's got a lot of things going on in his life, but I'm hoping that it becomes at least a once a week thing that we do this. Um, you know, uh, I consider an honor to be asked to be over here. We do kick around ideas during kind of during the week, and that's a good one. Maybe we should talk about that, and we do. And so I implore anybody who's out there to come on up and talk. You're not going to be attacked here. You're not your opinion will be respected. You're not going to be attacked and dogpiled. Although if I was going to be dogpiled, the ladies on this panel, that might be kind of fun. But anyway,
You sound like Paul. You sound like Paul.
That's right. Speaking of Paul, I do want to shout out. Paul Morrison, the Discussion Salon is another place that we do similar things and have discussions without drama. And all opinions are welcome. We have healthy debates and disagree, and we have fun. So this is Discussion Salon with Paul Morrison, and I just want to thank Brian for allowing me to be up here and tell everybody out there, it's really not that important. Practice being kind rather than being right, and everybody will win out that way.
That's a nice one.
I'm going to say this from a personal perspective. This is what I thought Drinks and Discussions was going to be about. More, people telling me what they're drinking before the discussions, but bringing people together. And I just want to give you both just a heartfelt thank you, because I know there's some issues between the two, but you two ladies behaving the way you did, classy, having the strength and the respect to come on panel, talk with each other, share ideas without kind of going at each other. I commend you both. I know it's not easy. I didn't want to make it seem like it was something that I intentionally tried to do, but I'm glad you ladies both felt that it was comfortable enough where one didn't have to drop because the other one was up here. And I think that more women in this community should stick up for each other, to say we don't have to bash each other in order for us to maneuver in these YouTube streets. So to Dutchie and Penguin, thank you for being classy tonight. That was all you, had nothing to do with me. Nothing. I commend you both. Yeah. Now, outside of that, I can't complain. I mean, again, I'm hoping that if Wednesdays work for you all, I know football season is coming up and nobody wants to play fantasy football, so fuck everybody else that's listening. But even though Penguin and her husband were going to join, we just didn't get enough. We can't play fantasy football with YouTube, but I do have my own other fantasy football stuff. But if Wednesdays work for everyone, Wednesday nights, I would love to continue having these types of panels Wednesday nights. It kind of sits well and fits well with my schedule. Weather is getting better, so if I do want to come out here in the garage and hang out, or if I want to go in a different room, I think I can actually do that now. But I would love to have every one of you back on panel if it meets your schedule. For everybody in the chat, I want to say a special thanks also because we're talking about reputations. Laura Rader, Dick Insider, Just for Fun, they are the ones who helped make my reputation better than what it was because they were the ones who taught me how to laugh at myself. When the trolls are coming at you and they're trying to tell me I'm preachy, own it, laugh at myself, talk about it, and just keep it going and don't change because of the trolls. Just laugh at when they're trying to say that you're doing whatever it is they say. So
Right.
laughing at myself has really made my YouTube experience a lot better and not taking what other people have to say to heart. When we're talking about going live, nobody's going to go live with me. I don't care whatever they have to say, whatever they want to post. That just makes them look stupid. And we're going to keep trying to do the best we can to try to bring community together and have topics that we could talk about. I'd rather talk about topics than people. And that's what we're all about here in Drinks and Discussions. And so with that, I would like to say good night, everyone. I really appreciate everybody on the YouTube streets for joining in. And until next time, Vic Ferrari, Penguin, Dutchie, Liz, Flaky Jake,